Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage. Today we're going to be working on Pete's 46 convertible. So last time we got it all running again, and the brakes, Steve got all the brakes and stuff taken care of and got it running. And we finally, after some gremlins, got everything going again on it. And now what we're going to do is work on converting it to 12 volt. Pete had been running it a lot for many years on 6 volt, but now that he doesn't drive his cars quite as much, and just since we need to take care of some stuff anyways, we're going to go through and convert this to 12 volts. So we figured we'd show the process because a lot of these cars that we do aren't like running and driving cars, so it's kind of a convoluted process. This car is running and driving on 6 volt positive ground, and we're going to show you converting it to 12 volt negative ground and everything that goes into it. Steve is pretty good at this by now.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times yet.
So we already put our order in with Napa, so there's a couple of tricks here that we figured we'd tell you guys about, and hopefully we can keep these generators in stock because we're early Ford communities buying them. So one of the tricks is, this is a 6 volt generator here that Pete has on it, factory flathead generator. You take basically the guts, the front snout of this generator, and you keep all that. You order a Y-block generator. I think we've shown it before. Slide the outer housing on, and that takes care of the generator, obviously voltage regulator. So I just order 1960 Ford F100, order a voltage regulator generator. We already have, this is just temporarily mounted, but we're going to put a proper 12 volt coil on here, which I forgot to order, crap. I have to call them back real quick. I knew there was something I was forgetting. And yeah, so we have all that stuff we're going to do. The starter is fine. Even though the folklore of the internet tells you it isn't. All my cars run on 6 volt starters, and they work just fine. They're cheap as dirt. You can buy them at Carlisle and Hershey and any flea market for like $1 because nobody thinks they can use them. So, and then Steve's gonna have to work on, eventually once we get a little further, some of the gauges, obviously the headlights and taillights and all that stuff. So we're gonna show you along the way the process, and hopefully it helps you guys if you're doing this conversion. It's not as hard as you would think, and we're gonna get the car cranking faster, starting easier, and it gets some parts that are a little bit easier to find because getting a 6 volt voltage regulator these days is even harder than a 12 volt. Now, our local Napa had literally the generator and the voltage regulator and all that stuff. I called just a few minutes ago, and it's like 10 a.m. We'll have it by 1 o'clock. So for old parts, you can't ask for better. So Steve's gonna work on doing some dismantling, and we'll get this thing running on 12 volts. Of course, on the 59 AVs, it's a little more of a pain in the butt because there's a fan bolted to the front of the generator.
Exactly. Yeah, there's another layer on the front there. Yeah.
Belt and fan, which we also need to oil. We probably need to oil that fan just in case it hasn't been oiled in years.
Yeah, most likely not.
So add some grease or oil to that so that doesn't self-destruct when he's driving it.
Get her lubed up.
And we'll swap his chrome dress-up cover over.
Of course.
Keep that on there.
Of course. Alright, so here we have our new generator. This is a 12 volt generator. There's the guts of a 6 volt. Apparently the only difference between the 6 volt and the 12 volt is the outer case. If you swap this case, 12 volt case, for a 6 volt case, the generator will put out 12 volts. What are we hanging up on here? Oh, it's just very tight. There we go. Wiggle it off. There we go. And then just that there. Put these parts off to the side for the moment. Grab our original generator armature. Line up the locating pin there. There we go. There we are. That's on there. Use the original back case. Go that way. These usually aren't too bad. You just slide enough room to get your fingers in there, slide the brushes out, and get it started. The hardest part of the whole operation is getting the bolts to line up. Alright. There we go. And that is how you make a 12 volt flathead generator. Okay, so we got a couple of voltage drops for the gauges. These didn't come with instructions, and it was something that we had gotten somewhere from someone. So just kind of gonna see if hooking it up the way it would seem to work right will give me what I need. We got power in and grounded. See what we get coming out here. 5.8 volts. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. All right, that'll work. All right. We got the fuel and oil gauge here powered off the same wire. It just has this little bar going across to jump the power. And everything I have seen as far as directions for these says you got to run one for every gauge. You got to remove this and run one for each gauge. So this will be my power output. We will run that to here. There. Was I might have been. There's our original 6-volt regulator and our new 12-volt. We are going to swap covers because the old one is way cooler looking. So I got to grind some rivets off and we'll get on it, and we'll get that off of there. See if that does it. There we go. Got that old black hammer tone cover on there. It looks way better than that bright screaming blue one. While digging through the parts bin, I found what I believe to be the perfect accessory for Pete. Behold the chrome coil cover. I think that is going to really set it off. Alright, so I finished the 12-volt conversion on Pete's car. Converted the generator to 12 volts, 12-volt coil, a 12-volt voltage regulator, 12-volt battery that we switched around to negative ground, obviously, and put a new starter solenoid on it too, just in case. on the inside. Had the dash cluster out of it. Put voltage drops on all the gauges. And it's a little hard to see, but I replaced the starter switch. The one wire positive ground switch won't work with that. Replaced the turn signal flasher. And hopefully, now when I hook up the battery, everything's going to turn on and work perfectly. All right, hook up the battery and see if they have any lights. Hopefully that is not foreshadowing. All right. Oh man, we got lights, brother. We got tail lights. We got license plate lights. We got headlights. Oh yes.
All right, so Steve, I haven't done a goddamn thing. A darn thing. I'm sorry. I haven't done a darn thing.
On this, you've been working on other things.
I've been working on other stuff. So Steve was going to fire it earlier, and I was like, I don't want to stink the shop up. It's really cold out, just snowed. So he just was like, let me just see if it cranks, and then it half a crank it fired, which is why we put it on 12 volt. So we're gonna start it and run it again. It should run because we ran it before on cobbled together stuff.
Exactly.
And we'll see what happens. And
Try.
doors ready to be open so if you have to push it outside on fire.
Why did he have to say that?
I know.
Especially since Steve just did all this wiring.
Yeah,
See over the dashboard.
Yeah. Nobody can see over that steering wheel.
All right. There we go.
And that's why we use 12 volt.
Yeah. Might need a choke.
Yeah.
It's warm in here, but not that warm.
Did that close a little bit?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just a little bit. Just let it-
Things doing like a condenser again.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
No, I just think it's. It was because you had the choke on, you tried to hit it, it's not like, make sure it's not loading up. We're putting the choke up. Yeah. It might have actually been the opposite if it flooded.
It does smell a little fuely.
He has the chokes hooked up to both of them, doesn't he? We should undo that. I had a problem. Now again, that might have worked for him before, but on my Model A Coupe, I had a problem with that because it's too much choke and it actually floods it. Yeah, and you're blocking half the air. So on my car, that's why all the ones we do, we usually just do the back carb and just enough to get it to fire and not. So that could have been what was happening there. I don't know. Sounds good now. Oh, it's started? Good. That's pretty responsive.
Yeah.
Temp gauge doesn't work.
No, the fuel gauge is all the way full. The oil pressure gauge is reading something. I don't know if the temperature gauge ever works.
I don't know. Well, because he has the one under the.
Yeah, you put another.
Yeah, I don't know if that ever worked. Well, isn't that so not? Could it be backwards?
No, they don't. It's either.
What's ground? Yeah.
Yeah.
It works off the ground.
Yeah, it works off the ground.
So that might have been. We had the same problem in the one of the cars. We had a problem like that.
Okay.
That the gauge was just.
Is there anything
Yep.
flashing?
Yep.
Yep. All right. We have headlights. Hey. High beams. So They're not very high, but
What do you expect from 9-inch seal beams?
yeah, they work. They work.
Or 7-inch.
How about the taillights here?
I saw them flashing when you had the turn
Oh
signal.
yeah, we got taillights, baby.
Brake light.
Yes. Holy moly.
Send it. We're done.
Hey,
great.
the license plate light doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a bulb for that. That's the last
I
little.
got the cover off it. I thought a bulb that might work, but it's...
Dash lights even work?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
put all new bulbs in the dash.
That's awesome. Just got to put the radio and that crap, but that's just
gotta
minor.
Button everything up. I wanted to make sure everything worked.
But the amp gauge is charging, so and it's showing a slight discharge at idle with the lights on. So that's good.
Yep.
Turn the lights up, see if it goes to. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's working great. That's awesome. Sweet. Awesome. Well, that thing should hopefully fire up a lot easier. I mean, just there it was fired up so much easier.
Yeah.
'cause, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, before it was like, wah, wah, wah.
Barely. Yeah. Barely.
So, awesome. All right.
We would take it for a drive, but
It just snowed today,
Too
so
much salt. It wasn't for the road salt.
yeah, the road salt and the snow is not good. But
Snow's okay.
Yeah.
Road salt in.
what idle down now, or is it still in?
I gotta adjust it.
Yeah.
again. I pulled it down.
Yeah, I just tapped it. It probably needs a little,
Yeah.
but it's good.
Yeah.
Start it easier and move it. It doesn't smell like old gas anymore.
No. Right.
there's a slight tinge of it, but it's not as
Yeah, I mean,
aggressive.
you're probably going to get that for a long time.
Right. That was so horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing ahead. Pull it out. Maybe pull it out into the snow a little bit. Take a photo of it. All right, so Steve did a great job getting this thing converted to 12 volt. We've done it a few times now. It's getting easier every time, but we still find something new that we didn't realize on every one. But got everything good. It's charging on 12 volt, like you saw, the lights and all that stuff are working. So it's just about at the point now mechanically again where it probably was when Pete first put it on the road, except for being 12 volt. Now it's brakes are all good, all that stuff's done, so he can definitely drive it. As I think I mentioned earlier, our plan otherwise for this is we're going to get a friend of ours that does upholstery to do the convertible top. So we're going to try and recreate the chopped convertible top that was done back in the day when the car was first built. I think it was chopped in like 48 or something like that. And so the bows and all that stuff is all there, the irons. We just gotta follow the old pictures and the what's there and make it cool. So got a couple little things we're gonna do, but basically this series of work is done for the winter until Jerry can get the car in to do the top. It's gonna probably go back to Pete's and just sit there for a little bit so he can get on it. And then once that's done this spring, we're hoping Pete can just start driving it and putting some miles on it, getting any little bugs that might be worked out on it taken care of. We do have an exhaust leak. I just remembered that we got to take care of. But very small things at this point. We took care of a lot of the big stuff, which is fantastic. So really excited to get this thing back on the road. And like I've been telling a lot of people, no, we do not work on customer cars, but we do work for free on friends' cars, and that's what this is. Really excited about that, and I can't wait to be cruising with Pete this summer with this car again. So thank you guys for following along. Let me know what you think of the 46 convertible. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.